Hey, it's Benji Cole, son of Al Cole from CBS Radio and host of the syndicated talk show, People of Distinction. The talk that gives you an in-depth view of some of the most dynamic, intelligent, and successful people on the planet. Run to our website, alcoleenterprises.com for more info. Email me through benji@alcoleenterprises.com if you'd like to get involved with what we have going. And as always, please continue to like and follow our broadcasts. People of Distinction is internationally syndicated solely due to the love and support that you all continue to give. We're available across all major distributors, and as long as you keep following, we're going to continue to put out the content. Now sit back and strap in, because on the line with us today, we have the impressive Anne Sprabery, and we're going to be discussing her amazing book, The Adventures of Billy Molar, The Mutans Revolution. Now, it's available for purchase through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and a whole host of other places. But if you want to gather everything that Anne has in store, well, people, you got to check out her personal website, all right? That's AnneSpraberyAuthor.com. There, you're going to gather more information on her, more information on this book, hyperlinks set up to take you to the purchasing pages. Man, I'm telling you, it is a one-stop shop for everything that she has in store. Again, that's AnneSpraberyAuthor.com. And just to make sure there's no spelling mishaps here, we have Anne, A-N-N-E, Sprabery, S-P-R-A-B-E-R-Y, author.com. And before we go any further, I want to quickly point out the fact that Anne was brought to our network by one of the best publishing firms in the business, Studio of Books. So for my writers out there who have gone through their process and now you need help moving that masterpiece you just developed, well, people, trust me when I tell you, you got to contact one of the best movers in the business. And if you haven't figured it out already, yeah, that's Studio of Books. You're going to want to head on over to studioofbooks.com and gather all the ways that their fantastic team is going to help move your creative endeavors. And listen, it is a true pleasure to have Anne here on the line. People, her book, man, the moment you start to do research on it, you're going to be gripped, okay? You're going to be hooked. This is so much more than a catchy title. Although, first and foremost, it is an absolutely catchy title. When you start to do some research on it, you're going to understand that, we're going to travel to a wild world here where tooth decay and gingivitis reign supreme. And only one hero, Doc Molar, I love the play on words here, he has to come to save the day with his sidekick, Bristles. And they're going to do some things because, listen, they're going to teach your children and you adults out there listening in. Yeah, I said it. They're going to teach you how and why brushing our teeth is so important, why oral health is so important. This book articulates a great message under the guise of entertainment. Your children are going to love reading about this and even have some fun brushing their teeth as well. And, I was telling Anne on the pre-screening call prior to this interview, as a parent myself, embarking upon that journey, I remember, and we've gotten past the phase now where she fights us, but I remember going through it with our daughter. And, my goodness, there was some kicking, there was some screaming, there was some fighting when it came to brushing her teeth, and she did not like it. We tried all sorts of things. We got multiple toothbrushes. We were trying to play games. We were doing this and doing that. And finally, we reached the promised land of being able to brush her teeth. But it is something that is so important, but it is a process. And much like this book, you have to do it in a fun way. We all know why we should brush our teeth, right? We remember going through and learning about it. But if it's not articulated in a creative, engaging, and fun way, man, good luck trying to get it passed on to your children, because it's probably not going to happen. And like I mentioned, for you adults out there listening in, the goal here is to make oral health an exciting mission rather than a chore. And it's all about perception and about how you dress it up. And that's all I'm going to say on it, because Anne is the expert and she's got a lot more that she's going to be able to contribute to this conversation. Sit back, strap in, and get ready. All right. And first and foremost, welcome to People of Distinction, and thank you very much for being a guest. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Benji, for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. Absolutely. And this is a pleasure. I really do mean that. I think what you've done here is something needed and really something I wish somebody would have offered me when I was growing up. and I would try to lie to my parents like, yeah, I brushed my teeth already, knowing damn well I didn't. But it's we have it now. All right. And for the next generation, man, they're better suited because of it. And Before we go into your book, tell us a little bit more about yourself and your background, please.
Sure. Now I'm a retired dentist. I had to retire early after a short 7-year career practicing dentistry due to health reasons. And
wow.
I was not ready to give up on educating the public. Even though I can't do hands-on dentistry, I wanted to find a way, how to spend my time, but still getting the message out there what I went to school to learn. And that's, like I said, not doing hands-on dentistry. I mean, there's more to it than that for us.
Yeah.
Is we've got to be able to help people not to be afraid of us, for one. And from what you said, we do know if you don't brush like you should. But just in a fun way. And at my practice, I saw a lot of adults, but I also saw a lot of kids. And during that practice, I quickly learned that, the kids at school, they're not taught. They may get a 30-second review on oral hygiene and for a whole year during Dental Health Month in February. But other than that, you just don't get much information. So this is why I wrote the book. Like I said, being a retired dentist, that's not the end for me in my career.
Well, Anne, I love the fact that you did that, right? Because you have wisdom to offer. And this is a wonderful way to go about articulating that wisdom to children and parents alike. So thank you for doing that and continuing on this mission. I want to now jump in because like you said, and like I mentioned as well, like we are told growing up, like you got to brush your teeth, right? You got to fight plaque and gingivitis and fight bad breath. And you should floss. And okay, so we got that. But someone with your expertise and your knowledge, you know much more about the intricacies here. Talk to us about maybe some of the lesser known reasons as to why it's beneficial for making sure that we're maintaining oral health.
Oh, absolutely. And you're probably told when you go to the dentist, brush your teeth twice a day, and you're like, okay, that just sounds like a chore and something I'm supposed to do. Well, as in the book, I kind of in a roundabout way explain why. Because the S. mutans, which are the bacteria that cause the cavities, they develop every 12 hours. So when you have that in your mind that, okay, if I have these bad bugs that take 12 hours to develop on my teeth and can hurt my teeth, like, well, okay, that now makes sense. I'll remember that. So I was just in the book trying to get a more fun, effective way than just instructing someone, okay, you have to do this. and then you go on your merry way. So, but
love that. Those pesky S mutants, man. I didn't realize they come out every 12 hours, and that's why it's twice a day. People, I'm learning already. This is fantastic. So now let's talk a little bit more about the writing process, right? Because what you're balancing here is the education and also the creativity and the fun, right? Making it entertaining for children and parents alike. Talk to us about this writing process and maybe some challenges that you encountered when you were creating this narrative.
Well, the challenges are easy because I went to school for math and science. So just sitting down to write, that was a major challenge. But when you have such passion about what your voice wanting to be heard and what you want people to hear and just to educate and okay, so what's an effective way to teach them? So, I have 2 kids. They're grown now, and the only books that we would read to them about hygiene was, okay, you go to the dentist, this is the chair, this is the mirror, this is the dentist, and they clean your teeth. Like, there needs to be a different way in getting across to these kids where they'll have fun and want to be like the characters. In that's how I created the book and the characters. I would love to have a series where it begins with a little boy going to bed to brush his teeth and then wakes up in the morning brushing his teeth and excited about his dream, but the dream be different types of gentle stories. As far as the story itself, and this one being a Western, I grew up in a home where my mom was from out west, and there were cowboys on the TV all the time, and just how much she loved them. And I think it was kind of a tribute to her, too. And just I knew, that the cowboys and the Indians, the good guys and the bad guys, everybody can at one point in their life identify with that from a story or a TV show or a movie. The cowboy's the good one and is going to save the day.
Yeah.
So that was kind of inspiration for that thought process.
Love that. People, again, the book is called The Adventures of Billy Molar, The Mutants Revolution. You got to head on over to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and SpraberyAuthor.com. Pick up your copies of this amazing book today. And follow-up question that I'd love to go into now. So we talked about, some of the challenges and some of the things that you really admired about the process, right? Things that you really gravitated towards. Well, I'm curious, it's going to play off of inspiration here, but your band of characters, there's something that is so fun and unique, right? Billy Molar, Bristles, being his healthy companion and sidekick here. Talk to us about this creative process and how you came up with the names for the characters and really what inspired them.
I wanted to use as much dental terminology as I could.
Yeah.
And so even there's the place where it's located is in Pallet, Kansas. And Pallet, the top of the roof of your mouth. So kind of a play on words any which way I could. And I thought people would get a kick out of the horse. You've got to have a toothbrush somewhere in there.
Of course.
And thinking about it, I'm like, maybe we could create a horse, that's in the shape of the toothbrush. And it just kind of went in there as I developed the story and where I wanted it to go. My first thought was always, okay, what dental terms can I use in there? What figure can I put in there? In the bar scene, they're drinking milk. Milk's very good. Your teeth like milk rather than grabbing a soda. So, and those specifics don't have to be explained, but there are a lot of little things in there that do have reason.
And as we close out of here, before I let you go, is there anything you'd like to let our listening audience know?
Yes, I want all of the listeners to know, adults and kids, that oral hygiene is very, very important for your overall health, your stomach health. When you develop gingivitis, bleeding gums and periodontal disease, those are just some issues that can happen when you have those bad bugs in your mouth. But it can affect your heart. It can make you sick. It can cause infections, which no one wants, and it's not good for anyone.
Yeah.
So that's why we stress we need to not just take care of your body, your teeth are part of it too, in your mouth. So it's very important.
People, you know where to go. I'm going to say it for you once again. It's Amazon, it's Barnes & Noble, it's SpraberyAuthor.com. Pick up copies of this amazing book, The Adventures of Billy Molar, The Mutants Revolution. You're not going to be able to put it down. All right. This is such a fun, creative journey taken from her dental expertise. And it really is going to help teach you and your children how to fight cavities one page at a time. All right. Go and show off that smile. It's guaranteed to leave you grinning. And this is a book that you need to add to your shelf. And this has been a true pleasure, an absolute delight. Thank you once again for being a guest on People of Distinction.
You are phenomenal. No wonder you do what you do. You are absolutely great.